Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone and good morning and welcome to the session. This is Ashima and you're watching us on Entry channel. Over here we'll be talking about daily news events which we are going to cover in a descriptive format, right? So the discussion is going to carry on in more of a descriptive format, but for all of you who want to practice the questions as well, you can download Entry app from Google Play Store, and over there there's a free quiz on current affairs which happens about 10 to 12 questions every day to help you keep in touch with the news events, right? Alongside, if you download right now, you'll be getting 7 days free trial on all the paid courses as well. So you can check that out now. Alongside, the benefit of this app is that you can choose your language, that is which language you want the particular course on or the study material in. Then you can choose the language in which you want to operate, and the courses will also be available according to the language you have opted, right? So that is one of the benefit points for all the people. Alongside, now we'll be beginning with our segment of the daily news events. So the first news event which we're going to talk about is Gavi board. Now recently, yesterday if we talk about, we had talked about how Gavi has decided to withdraw from India, and alongside currently the pneumonia vaccine, which is Pneumocil, that vaccine is going to be promoted by Gavi. Right now, what is the new thing about this Gavi that we are talking about over here? That is that currently Dr. Harshvardhan has been appointed on the board of Gavi. Right. So first of all, what is the full form of Gavi? That is Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization. The term period of Dr. Harshvardhan's appointment is going to be from 2021 to 2023. So his appointment is going to begin soon, or his tenure is going to begin soon. And once he becomes a member of Gavi board, whom is he going to represent over there? He will be representing the Southeast Area Regional Office, or you can say Western Pacific Regional Office. So that is what he is going to represent, or he is going to take the ideas to the Gavi board. Right? Who is representing this region as of now? This region currently is being represented by Mint Hot of Myanmar. Right? Now, if we talk about Dr. Harshvardhan, currently he is the chair of World Health Organization board also. So he is currently the chairperson of World Health Organization. That is a news for us as well. Now, what is Gavi? Although we have talked about yesterday, but I'll give you a bit of an idea about it today also. So Gavi is basically launched with the idea, or this whole alliance is basically for the objective of immunization for all. That is, all the vaccines which are very primary to human life, all those vaccines should be available to everybody at such a price that everyone can afford it. Right, that is the reason, or that is the reason why this alliance has been formed, so that the poor do not suffer because of them being poor. Right now, currently Gavi is in partnership with World Health Organization also on COVAX. So COVAX, which is of World Health Organization, Gavi is supporting COVAX also. Right. Now, COVAX is basically an alliance which is for COVID-19 vaccines in particular for all the developing countries. That is, all the developing countries should get COVID vaccines at time and in certain amount which is required, right? So for that purpose, Gavi has partnered with them, that is to provide the immunization from COVID as well. Right. Now we'll be moving to the next news event, that is UK-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement. Now this trade agreement has been signed recently, and this agreement will bring into force 99% of tariffs elimination within 7 years. This is the agreement that both these countries have signed upon. That is, in the coming 7 years, 99% of tariffs are going to go off, and from this, Vietnam is going to benefit. How? Because there are going to be tariff savings of about 114 million pounds. Right now, this agreement was into negotiation since 2018, but finally it has come to force. Now, if we talk about the agreement of United Kingdom, this is the third agreement that Britain or United Kingdom has signed after the post-Brexit deal. Earlier, it has signed after exiting, you can say, European Union. It has signed agreement with Japan and with Singapore. right? Japan was the first country they signed free trade agreement with as free country after leaving European Union, and the second was Singapore, and the third is Britain. So the third is Vietnam. Now, UK deal with Vietnam and Singapore are going to pave way for Trans-Pacific Partnership as well. So what exactly is this Trans-Pacific Partnership that we are talking about over here? So this Trans-Pacific Partnership was actually signed in 2016 but was never ratified. That is, it could not be ratified. Why? Because the President of United States, that is Donald Trump, he withdrew the US signature from the Trans-Pacific Partnership in 2017, due to which it could not be ratified, but it was signed in 2016. Which were the countries which were there? They were Australia, Canada, Brunei, Japan, China, Malaysia, Peru, Singapore, New Zealand, Vietnam, US, Chile, and Peru. These were the countries which were there, but since United States withdrew from it, new deal came into force. That was Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership. This new agreement came to force in 2018 after United States left the earlier agreement in 2017, right? Next, RBI Trend and Progress Report has been released now. Now this is a report which is in statutory compliance. That is, according to Banking Regulation Act of 1949, this report has to be published by RBI. Right, so it is mandatory for them to publish, and it basically includes all the NBFCs, that is non-banking financial institutions, and corporate banks. And it also provides an outlook to the financial sector of India as of now. So if we talk about this report states that commercial banks' gross non-performing assets ratio have comparatively declined from March 2019 to September 2020. How much decline? From 9.1%, it has gone down to 7.5%. Right now, it has also taken series of policy measures for mitigating the effects of COVID-19, and various efforts which have been said, they have been noted down in the report. Then initiatives for supervisory framework were also taken, and we all had discussed about that how the appointment and all is going to take place. All of those were also discussed in the report, right? Next, Vistadome coach. Now, what is about Vistadome coach? First of all, Minister of Railways, or Union Minister of Railways, Shri Piyush Goyal, he had unveiled this, and these coaches were manufactured by Integral Coach Factory, which is in Chennai as of now. So, first of all, it is important that who has manufactured them, and second of all, who has announced that this finally the trials have been over. So, when we are saying that trials were going on, where were these trials going on? There were 13 Vistadome coaches that were operating in India on trial basis, and they were in Araku Valley, Dadar and Madgaon, Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, Kangra Valley Railway, Kalka Shimla Railway, Nilgiri Mountain Railway, and Matharan Hill Railway. These are the places where these Vistadome tourist coaches were running as of now. Now, what is so different about Vistadome coaches? Vistadome coaches are made of glass rooftops, so that a panoramic view can be taken, and it's not that glass is there, so they are very unsafe. For that, safety measures have been taken, and glasses that are used, they are shatter resistant, and also they are film coated, so that safety can be taken care of for the people around. Now, over here we have seen Kalka Shimla Railway. Right. Now, Kalka Shimla Railway is one of the very few heritage railways in the world. So, this has been recognized by UNESCO. That is, Kalka Shimla Railway is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It was added in 2008. So, in 2008, Kalka Shimla Railway was added into UNESCO World Heritage Site. Right. Then, apart from that, there are 3 mountain railways which are designated as UNESCO World Heritage Site, and They are by the name Mountain Railways of India. Which are these three mountain railways? They are Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, Nilgiri Himalayan Railway, and Kalka Shimla Railway. These are the three railways which are you can say UNESCO World Heritage Site under the name Mountain Railways of India. There is a fourth mountain railway also which was there in the last slide. That was Mathuran Hill Railway. That is in tentative. That is, it is soon to be added, but it has not been added as of now. Another pointer that you need to know is Nilgiri Mountain Railway is the only rack railway in India. Right? Next, Gujarat Solar Power Policy 2021. So, a new policy has come up in Gujarat. Now, we all know that Gujarat is working immensely in increasing the solar energy. Their target has comparatively been set at 30,000 megawatts of clean energy by 2022. So, they have set a huge target. They have achieved 11,000. They want to achieve 30,000 by 2022. And for that purpose, achieving that huge target, a new policy of solar power has come in Gujarat. What is the aim of the policy? Now, according to this policy, any developer or any person or any industry can set up solar power project in Gujarat, and the aim is to reduce the power cost of the industrial units by around 50%. So basically anyone can install solar rooftops, even offer their space to third parties. That is, if I have a land, I can offer it to some other person who wants to install that. Right. Second of all, security deposits to power companies, they have been reduced. How much have they've been reduced? Currently, they have been reduced to 5 lakh rupees per megawatt, which was earlier 25 lakh rupees per megawatt. So from 25, it has been reduced to 5. Right. Then Made in Gujarat brand is the one they want to promote alongside. Third thing, new policy will the new policy is to purchase power at 20 paisa per unit. So for small scale projects, if anyone is putting up small scale projects, they can sell energy at 20 paise per unit. Gujarat has achieved 11,000, and as I told you, they want to achieve 30,000 megawatt of energy. Right? Then Meteorological Center in Ladakh is going to be set up. This is the first meteorological center in Ladakh that is going to be set up. It will be set up at a height of 3,500 meters, and it is the first meteorological center in Ladakh. Who has inaugurated it? Union Minister of Health Science, that is Dr. Harsh Vardhan. He has, he has inaugurated it. Now, weather forecast for the region and early warning system for weather forecasting. These are the two primary objectives that this whole project holds. So, short range weather forecasts will be there, which will be of 3 days. Medium range weather forecasts for 12 days. Long range weather forecasts for 1 month. All of these are going to be done by this meteorological center. Right? Why they have set it up in Ladakh? Because Ladakh has extreme climatic condition, right? Such as cloudbursts are there, flash floods happen, glacial lake outbursts happen, drought is also there, avalanches are also there. So for that purpose, it is very, very important to install meteorological center over there. Now, if we talk about meteorological centers in India, there are 6 regional meteorological centers, that being Kolkata, Guwahati, Mumbai, New Delhi, Chennai, and Nagpur. These are the 6 regional meteorological centers which are there of Indian Meteorological Department. The first dedicated meteorological satellite of India was Kalpana 1. So that is important. Kalpana 1, first dedicated meteorological site, that was of ISRO. And IMD has 6 regional meteorological centers, that being in Kolkata, Guwahati, Mumbai, New Delhi, Chennai, and Nagpur. Then a few one-liners. WHO has launched a COVID-19 app. And this app is basically to give, you can say, correct information about COVID-19 to all the people, all the latest updates, latest, you can say, mutations that are happening, where it's spreading, how much is it spreading, what are the scientific findings regarding COVID-19. So you can say certified information to be provided to the people of the world is the reason that this app, WHO COVID-19 app, has been launched. Right? So it will basically be It's currently available only in Nigeria. Now, this is the new the update that this app has come, but currently it is in Nigeria only. It is soon to be open all around the world as well. Right? Now, with this, we will be winding up the segment. Thank you so much. It has been wonderful interacting with all of you, and I hope